A ratio is a relationship. It can be mathematical, it can be aesthetic, but it's always precise and always has a purpose. At Ratio Architects, reason, logic, and human relationships come together to find the art within the need. The results are defined spaces that tell stories, places created with simplicity and meaning, communities enhanced, and each relationship begins the same way.
They come and they listen, and they do that in a very deliberative way.
They listened very well to what were our needs, and they carried it out in great fashion.
I think on Ratio, certain things come to my mind. First is good listeners.
And it was real important that the listening be the priority.
Even at the beginning, in 1982, the difference emerged.
Bill Brown came into the building and made some sketches and renderings of what he thought that building could look like as an office building. He really turned us on. It was just a big, huge success story.
The mission has been the same ever since: to listen and combine purpose with creative thinking to service the client's character, values, and vision.
Ratio had a true grasp of design, as well as an important understanding that as a developer, we need to make these things economically viable.
We needed a firm that had the sensitivity to not dominate the historic building, but be complementary to it.
Perhaps it's creating a housing facility on a university campus, or a highly complex laboratory, an interactive museum, a relaxing city park, or an urban mixed-use project. In all of them, the Ratio team strives to elicit the same kind of response.
Wow.
And it was a real wow.
This really is a dramatic new space.
Frankly, it's always fun to do a project with Ratio.
After 25 years, Ratio has brought contextual design to hundreds of public and private projects in central Indiana and across the country. It's placemaking with an awareness that the place always outlives the maker.
It's not about coming and making your mark in time and trying to, sort of scream that you've been here. I think you want to have the ability to sort of mark your presence, but in a way that's appropriate and responsive to what's going to come after and what's come before.
Yet many times the greatest challenges are not those of a project's history, but those of the present day, such as designing for a more sustainable future, economic influences, or the number of diverse stakeholders involved.
So a critical element in the selection of Ratio was their capacity to work with multiple interests and multiple design team members in order to accomplish the goal of getting a product that we're all going to be proud when it's seen in the public for the first time.
On high-profile public projects, you really need folks that can meet the public, deal with the public, listen to the public, which is the most important thing.
So how do you describe a firm that listens, that collaborates, that respects the past and responds to today?
Effective managers.
Integrity.
They're client-friendly.
Well-managed, well-run.
Innovative.
Wonderful creativity.
And they're very, very creative.
I must not leave out creative.
Smoking.
If an architectural design firm connects what has come before with the needs that are yet to come, what lies ahead?
We're about to break ground, and I think they've hit not just a home run, I think they've hit a grand slam. They're giving us a project that absolutely fits in perfectly. The new building component will be reflective of everything else that's Indiana University Bloomington.
The design really is going to be talked about and will be a significant advantage as people go about trying to convince others to bring their major conventions to Indianapolis.
The legacy of the firm, for me, is maintaining the attitude and direction that we have charted our path on, which is really one of maintaining a high-quality attitude towards design, being responsible with our design work in the contexts and communities that we work in, and having sort of a collaborative spirit and attitude about that.
Listening, collaboration, exceptional design, all brought together in a logical, rational relationship. Ratio, defining spaces, creating places, enhancing community.